Good morning. Today is August 8th. I hope you can hear me. Um, testing, 1, 2, 3. I'm outside and cicadas were really loud and the traffic is going by. Yeah, so it's a beautiful day here on August 9th of 2025. And I am starting a YouTube channel to kind of record my transition from being 49 years old, moving into a half a century old on October 5th. Lately, I've been thinking about age because half a century is mind-blowing to me. I cannot believe I'm going to be 50 years old in just a few months. And when I was younger, I always thought that 30 was old. So a week before my 30th birthday, I ran to go get a tattoo. And because I thought, 30 years old, you're an adult and you're old, and it's not really acceptable to have a tattoo after you're 30, to get them. And, I clearly regret getting it, but it's something that the younger version of me believes, and I'm not sure why. But I have gained quite a bit of wisdom over the years, and turning 50 has really had me looking at everything in my life, from the items I have in my home and storage and the basement to things that I believe, like, 30 years old is elderly, and how it's holding me back and preventing me from living my best life. So I've decided that I am going to go through every single aspect of my life, and I am going to really examine everything, thoughts, beliefs, items in my home, and see if they're worthy of going into this next half century with me. If not, I'm going to toss them. The belief, the habit, the thing sitting in my room. I'm just going to transition into who I am today and get rid of the old me. And so I wanted to document my journey, take you along with me. And I've decided, since it's been such a horrible summer in Zone 8A, North Carolina, and it has destroyed my garden, that I am going to start fresh. That's where I'm going to start, is transforming my garden into a sanctuary, a place that I love to be. I've been gardening for years. I'm not any kind of professional or anything, but I enjoy it. It brings me joy. And the way that I do it currently, it doesn't bring me joy. It stresses me out. It frustrates me. And I'm changing that. That is the very first thing that I am changing. So I will take you on a tour of my garden, and I'll let you know where we're going to begin. This obviously is going to take a long time. Change doesn't happen overnight, and it happens with small changes, small things that you do every single day, and that's how you make change. So I'm gonna, like I said, take you on a tour, and don't judge me. Like I said, we had a really bad summer here in North Carolina. It was, a drought, super hot. It just fried everything. Not to mention, like I said, I'm not a professional. I do what I learn on YouTube. So yeah, let's get this tour started. So this is my home. This is the side door of my home. And right here we have a tea olive. We have one flanking each side. I can't wait for those to get big and beautiful. They smell amazing. And this here is my dahlia garden. I don't know what happens to my dahlias every year, but as you can see, if I can find it, here it is. They get dry and crusty. I don't know what happens. The leaf color, I'm sure I didn't fertilize enough or whatever, but these are my dahlias. And there's some irises in there as well. And then if we turn around, here's a hoop house that has fallen apart and disintegrated that I need to take down and empty the contents. Then we move over here to my elderberry bushes that I just cleaned up because they were overwhelming the area, and I think they look much better. I want them to be tree form. We'll go over here, and this is my baby Olive. I'm going to call him Ollie, and I want to train him to be in a funky shape, so that's why the stake is there. And then we have these existing trees. I forget what they're called. Like I said, I'm not a professional. And so we go over here to the log pile. We just cut this mimosa tree that was ridiculous. We cut that down a couple months ago, and here's the remnants of it. I've got ivy starting to take over, so I've got to deal with that. I have a tree hedge that is just ridiculous. There's dead trees in there, and there is a pecan tree, but it just loses its pecans and doesn't mature for me to eat them. We come over here, this is the fire pit area. So I kind of want to make like a woodland area here. We have some string solar lights in the trees. My husband and I just built this shed, got it off of Amazon. It does the trick. It doesn't look too bad. These 3 barrels are my composting system right here. I got some compost delivered with the intent of using it for garden beds, but I was so frustrated I didn't finish. And then here we go to my garden, and this is where I'm going to start transforming because it absolutely is driving me insane. Moldy bird water, anybody? So I've got roses, I've got peonies, I've got my eucalyptus tree, which I don't know if I'm supposed to trim it or not, but I don't know. And then to this side we have the garden beds with the shade cloth because it's been so ridiculous. The heat has fried everything. We go around, I've got some sunflowers that volunteered from last year. We've got more roses, we've got elephant ears, we've got more dahlias. This thing here is a native to North Carolina. It's like a Japanese snowball. It's a snowball or something like that. It's got puffy white. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a professional. And I got a very sad hydrangea here. And this little guy is also a native. He was, I just about killed him. Again, I don't know what names of these things are. But he's coming back. He was a little twig. And then we've got some calla lilies. Then I threw some random seeds. I don't even know what this thing is. It hasn't flowered for me at all. It just looks like the green stuff. This is my herb bed where I had dill, cilantro. I planted chamomile, but it never came up. There's a volunteer basil from last year, a purple basil. And then we've got more seeds that I planted that, again, I don't know what they are because they never flowered. I know the name of this, I can't think of it right now. We've got some herbs in pots. We've got the grand cat chewing on the weeds. We've got just a whole mismatch of stuff, you know. The intention was there, right? I put this metal edging in this year. Yeah, so this is the current state of the garden that I will begin transforming. So let's head around so you can see the rest of the yard. And again, I'll take you over here. We have a butterfly bush that I hacked away because it was dying earlier this year. I know it still looks all scraggly and awful, but don't really know what to do about that. And then this is my berry patch. I have blueberries, I have blackberries, and I have some raspberries in containers because I don't want them to take over. This sad, pitiful thing is clematis, and it was beautiful this year. So then then we'll go over to my, I don't know if this is what you call an arbor or a pergola. It's metal. I have some star jasmine and zinnias. This is my first year growing zinnia from seed. We've got some here, you know, orange, yellow, pink. And on the other side, we've got hula berries, pine berries. I had strawberries in there, but they didn't make it. They're just everywhere. They're all in the lawn. They are growing everywhere. I think this is this was sunflower. This string thing over here on the side is trellis stuff is straw flower. I'm obsessed with them. That was my first year growing the seeds. I have some, what is this called? This is called holy basil. And I have one baby little watermelon. I had zucchini in this bed, but of course, all the bugs. I have calendula. I have 2 volunteer tomatoes. I put some borage. I put some borage in here and it died and it looks absolutely disgusting. So that's my berry bed. This thing, I don't know what it is. Is it onion? I don't know. But that just started growing and I left it because that's what I do. I'm going to take you over here against the house to what I was calling my orchard, my fruit orchard. These things I think are native. I use the plant app. There's one on either side, and I just left them there. But I have a lemon tree, a Meyer lemon. I have lilac bushes that I transplanted that are very upset with me, but I see new growth, so there's hope yet. This is my pineapple that I cut the head off and started growing it. I've got a beautiful rose. And then over here, I have a Satsuma orange. I have a climbing rose, new this year, and a banana plant that I've been trying to get to fruit. Oh, mimosa tree. Yet again, these things grow like weeds. I can't stand them. So let's get rid of those. And see, I have this grass, and I hate it so much, Bermuda grass. And I think this is morning glory or something, and I absolutely love it, and I let it grow whenever I can. And there's another mimosa over there. These things, I used to spend my days every summer last year picking them out of the yard wherever I saw them. I can't stand it. I do have another mimosa tree over there. I don't know if you can see it. But oh, I forgot to show you. That's my second pineapple. I have a pineapple that I started growing last year. I overwintered it inside. And I planted it again. I planted it outside this year. So this is year number 2 for this pineapple. And I don't see any signs of it creating fruit for me. So let's go around to the front of the house. Again, I hope you can hear me. And I have these yuccas everywhere. This butterfly, I don't know if you can see it, but it's been floating all over the yard this morning. Oh, there's one of those. Oh, that's a beetle. No, never mind. So I have, this is a hydrangea which is struggling considerably. This is year number 2. There's the flutterby. I had a second one there, it died. I just think that this soil here is awful. There is some ground cover stuff, not ground cover, words, Jen. It is some fabric underneath this mulch that has been here forever, but I have these like, oh, this was here, that's Camilla, and then this is grass that we planted in spring. We got it from Sunday. I have a lilac there with a branch that fell from the trees. Lots of shade here. I've also been working on the front yard over there. I moved some yuccas, have some grass and some bushes. We have a leaning magnolia, and like I said, that's a Camilla. Then we have some hostas, which don't do fantastic. Again, I think this soil really needs to be redone. But we planted Carolina jasmine up the arches in front of the house. I've been trying to keep on these little trees and training them and fertilizing them. And I have hostas, some of them doing well and some not so well. I had a clematis I had moved from this spot, and it just keeps growing back, so I'm going to leave it with the Carolina jasmine. I'll show you where I moved it to the side garden. And I have 3 little lilacs. This one, like, I merely kill stuff and then it comes back. This one, see, it has growth on the base, but damn things to stick. So I have 3 of those dotted in between the walkway, along with more hostas. And you can see the cardboard we put down. Clearly not enough mulch. And the grass is not doing great. It's a mixture of fescue and clover. The clover is doing well. And then the magnolia, we had cut down the twin because it was just too close and this side was bare. And it's still trying to grow back. And then we go behind. There's some kind of bush thing over there on the edge of the yard. I let that grow. I don't know what it is, but it seems happy. And then I had planted some Beauty of Moscow. I bought 3 of them. So it's Beauty of Moscow lilac, and 2 of them died, 2 out of the 3. I put some mulch down because this yard was desolate of any nutrients when I first moved here. We had to cut down the tree, but not to worry, it made a baby, and I found the baby and I planted the baby. So I would like it to grow up and kind of arch over the walkway. Let me see if I can give you a better shot. It'd be a nice arch to, go around the bend. It made a second baby that I have to transplant as well. And then this is going to be our secret garden. This is around the side of the house. This is the one Moscow lilac that has survived. I planted another one over there and it died. This is the porch. And then we started working over here. There's a little bed over here with some hostas. Again, nothing. I love the moss though. That's the goal, is to try to get the moss to grow back here. But I have tons of hostas. They're doing embarrassingly awful. And this thing, I've had it 2 years and it doesn't do much other than that. It doesn't flower. I don't know if it needs more sun, but I may move that. And so we put mulch and we moved the yuccas over here and we lined it with a bunch of branches that had mushrooms on it. So this is going to be a woodland garden. We put leaves down, mulch. This in the bucket right here is a sweet bush, native to North Carolina. And I have mountain laurel. I had one at a previous house and I love it so much, but it's struggling. It really, I bought 2 of them to flank the walkway. There's one. And after this awful summer, here's number 2, it looks kaput. And then lilacs that I moved, and there's all the yuccas that I planted. And a dead clematis right here. But I have the clematis that I moved from the front of the house. I have right here. It's doing well, and then I tried to move it a second time this year, and that one's starting to grow too, so that's good. I just got some hydrangeas on clearance, 2 for $15. I was ecstatic. So that's Let's Dance Can Do. So they seem to be doing well. I've been trying to supplement water, as you can see the black. But we just had a week of rain, so they look super happy. And then here's another one over here. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then I found native, my goodness, I don't know names of anything. But I transplanted them over here in hopes that they would grow in the shade. They're adorable. I try to leave as much of what's here as I can to let it grow. I don't know what this stuff is, but it's like dainty and magical. I love it so much. And so we flanked the walkway with all the logs to kind of make a path. I know it's super big. It's super wide, but I'll probably end up moving it. I don't know what this thing is. I cut it back every year and it just keeps growing. And where the mulch ends here is my property line. I want to put a fence in eventually. And this area is just a mess. We built a shed because we have a door that goes out from the basement and it was flooding. So that was our temporary fix, is the shed. more yuccas. You know, I threw the roots there and they just grew. Super happy. I didn't mean for them to grow there. I thought I was getting rid of them. And we have a wisteria. We've already gotten rid of 2, but there's a 3rd. It's not native wisteria. And then we go back over here to this little bushy area. It's a mess, like I said. Don't judge me. It's okay, because I'm going to fix it all, right? And then this is volunteer, and I know it's invasive, but it's fine. And then we're back to my very sad dahlia garden and the tragic hoop house and my mulch pile. So there's the tour. There you have it. The carport my husband and I built. Isn't it cute? So this is what we're working with. So there you have it. There is the tour of my hot mess of a garden. Sorry if you can't hear me. I'm new at this. This is real life. I am not going to be editing my videos for hours. This is supposed to be fun and this is supposed to be easy. I am taking you along on my journey. I will be reading any comments that you have, suggestions, insights, and I look forward to learning from all of you and for you to join me in bringing joy back into our lives. Thanks for watching.